Alright, y'all ready? Everybody ready? Y'all ready? Alright, it's going to be a lot that I'm going to talk about, just FYI. Focus is not an easy topic to discuss. It's just too many components for me to try to summarize. So I'm going to try to fit all this as much as I can without talking all the time. But I'm going to talk a lot, so I just want you guys to know that it's going to be a lot out of my mouth.
Oh, chat it out.
Alright, okay, cool.
Part of the show.
Y'all ready? Everybody ready? We ready?
Yeah.
Alright. Alright, I'm going to do my intro now. Y'all ready? You sure? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm going for it. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go. 1, 2, 3, go. Alright, what up, ninjas? It's your fellow Tenno, Slickety Sam 07, and I am back on the grind. Today we have the Direwolves with us. We have our Alliance Twisted Wolves with us. So it's a full party of people. But let me go ahead and introduce my squad mates. So today I have myself, Slickety Sam 07, CJ, also in the Direwolf Academy. Okay, I got King Camp Dog in the building, and I also have Cloud Kid. He's not in the party, but he is in our squad. So we're gonna be in the same squad, because if you remember from my last video about ranking up, the more people you have with you, the better it is to get affinity. So you definitely want to take a full squad. Today we will be talking about Focus School. So everything in its entirety, from start to finish, on what Focus is about, how it works, what it is, and all the components of it. Alright, let's get to it. So, what is Focus? Focus is your inner Tenno's ability. So just a spoiler alert here, if you haven't done all the quests, you may want to hang back from watching the rest of this, but first thing I'm going to do is show you my Tenno. So this is my fully customized Tenno, but you can make your own as well once you finish the War Within. So your inner Tenno has its own abilities that it basically shoots out, kind of similar to how Star Wars has the Force. Your inner Tenno has its own special, unique type of ability that it can do, and it focuses these abilities into something called an amp, and that helps him control it and release it. How do you get this? Well, to get your inner Tenno, there are 2 phases. Phase 1 is you have to complete the second dream. Once you complete the second dream, you'll get the first part of your Tenno, which you can't really move around like I will be doing, but you will be able to summon, I guess you can say, summon your Tenno out of your Warframe, and he'll float around and do a beam, and you'll still have the focus abilities, but not in its full potential or its full power. And then the second phase, after you unlock the War Within and you complete it, you will have your full Tenno, where you can actually walk around, you'll be able to build amps, and you'll unlock all the focus schools. Alright, where do you access the focus school? I'll show you. So, I'm in my ship, right? And if you go all the way to the back, the middle door, once you finish the War Within, unlocks your, I guess kind of like your secret protected cocoon where your Tenno is. And then from here, you can access your Tenno's equipment, focus, and appearance, where you can fully customize them. So let's go into focus. Alright. Materai, we'll talk about first. Materai is your strength-based focus. So when you are in Materai, most of the abilities focus on damage, elemental, physical, amp damage, and also fire, elemental fire abilities. So I won't go into detail about what each and every ability does, but just know that if you want to do more damage, whether it's through your Tenno or your weapons or your abilities, Materai is probably the focus school that you want to go with. And the most popular ability with Materai at the moment is going to be Void Strike. On Leave in Void mode, once you max it out, the next 8 attacks deal 12% additional damage for every second spent cloaked. So the more you're invisible, the more damage you do for the longer duration of time. It does consume energy, but that is the most popular ability with Materai. And of course, they have a lot of other good abilities But if you just remember, if you want damage, you go Madarath. Next, Vazarin. Vazarin was the one I went with to start off with, mostly because I used to die a lot. Now I'm okay at staying alive. I'm just okay, but Vazarin is something, whatever. Vazarin is something you want to go with if you want to focus on healing yourself, healing your team. So just think of health. When you think of health, like regen and reviving people, Vazarin is the way to go. Most popular ability with Vazarin is Mending Soul. And basically, once you max it out, you can revive instantaneously up to 4 times. Absolutely amazing. Another good ability is the fact that it increases affinity radius, and also it does health regeneration as well. But there's a lot of good abilities in Vazarin that you can access, but the more you rank it up, the better. Zeneric. Zeneric is going to be your energy-based type of focus, all right? So when you think of anything in reference to your Warframe's energy regeneration or your energy max for your tenno or whatever the case may be, Zeneric is the place to be. It also has electric abilities as well. So, as I mentioned again, I'm not going to go into detail about each and every type of ability, but just think energy, Zeneric. All right. Naramon. Naramon is more of your melee slash affinity slash crit, but it has a large variety of stuff. I can't even try to fit it into one type of thing because it does opening for finishers, it does increased affinity, it does crit damage, it does combo duration. So it's a lot of different variety as far as Naramon. And I don't know if you noticed, but all the names here associates with the type of mods that you use. And they're very similar to the mods. So depending on the type of mods you use on your Warframe or your weapons, it should come close to the focus schools as well. Very important lesson to learn. So Naramon, the most popular node here, obviously, would probably be the affinity spike. Kills from melee attacks grant 45% more affinity. So if you're ranking up your weapons or your warframes or your focus, this would probably be the best focus school for you to go with. Also, melee combo counters is a very popular one. So just in case you're trying to get stacks up on your melee combo counters, or you're trying to get to that point 3.0 or 3.5 combo duration, then this would also be a good focus school for you. Uniru. So Uniru is more of your defensive type of focus school. So if you just think of damage resistance, damage reduction, and armor, Uniru would be your best bet. So Vazarin helps with your health, Uniru helps with your defense. So those are two different things. Please don't mix up the two. So Uniru, most popular ability will probably be the Uniru Wisp, which has absolutely nothing to do with defense. But what it does is, when you do Void Blast, which is your Tenno's melee ability, so your Tenno does have different abilities. When you do Void Blast, which is the melee, it has 100% chance when it's maxed out to summon a Wisp when it damages an enemy. And when you do that, summon the Wisp, you can pick it up, or your allies can pick it up, which adds additional 100% damage to whatever your next attack is, or for the next 12 seconds. Absolutely amazing. So that's Uniru. And then lastly, so that's all the 5 schools. But lastly, before I leave this, you want to know that in every school, just about, there is nodes called Unbound or Unbind. So every school has about 2 that you can unbind. Once you max out the specific 2 that can be unbinded, for instance, for Naramon, this one says for Mind Step, it increase your movement speed for the operator by 30%. Once you unbind it, you can add it to every other school. It's not just for the school anymore, which is absolutely amazing. So let's just say you had another school you wanted to use, whether it was maybe Xenuric, so you can have that energy rejuvenation or replacement, and then you also wanted to increase your movement speed at the same time. You could unbind this, throw it on the Xenuric lens or Xenuric school, and be able to use it all at the same time. The only catch is to unbind it, you have to have 1 million standings or affinity towards that school, and you need a brilliant shard. So you need both of those, 1 million standings or affinity and a brilliant shard to unbind it. And remember, there's only 2 per school. You can't choose it. It's already predetermined. If you like to do it, I highly suggest it. So right now, at the current moment, I have 2 skills unbinded: Inner Gaze and Enduring Tides. Um, Many more to come. So I'm working on it. I'm getting there. 700,000. So I'm almost at 1 million. I'll be unbinding that soon. Okay. Now, how do you gain focus? Well, let me show you. So remember when I said you can rank up abilities easily? Well, you can do the same with focus. Right now, what I'll do is I'll go to the same map that I showed you for leveling up. But you can, there's a lot of maps you can use to focus farm. But basically, after you max out your Warframe or your weapon or whatever the case may be, that additional affinity goes to your focus school. All right? Again, once you max out your stuff, your additional affinity goes to your focus school. But you have to max it out first. So as you can see, I'm taking a fully maxed loadout here. I'm not taking anything unranked because I want to make sure I get the maximum amount of affinity to go to my focus. Also, underneath my names, you'll notice that it says max rank and then there's a little symbol. So you actually have to equip lenses on your equipment in order to be able to get that focus. If you don't equip the lens, you won't get the focus. Alright? Alright, let's rock and roll, folks. You guys ready? CJ, King Cam, let's rock and roll.
No, I'm down.
Also, to add on to that, if y'all equip a lens on a level 30 Warframe and then you throw a format in it, it doesn't take that lens away, but you will not earn focus unless you are level 30.
That is correct. King Cam Dog, you still there?
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Alright, let's rock and roll. That is correct. Thank you, NGL. So there are different ways to gain affinity for your focus. So one of the ways, which I'm going to show you now, is just to play a regular mission. How you'd normally level up your Warframe or weapons is the same way that you will rank up your focus. Another way to do it would be to buy an affinity booster in the market that doubles your affinity for not just leveling, but also focus. So that's something very important to remember. Also, in the Plains of Adeline, or whatever they may come up with in the future, but right now it's just from hunting Vombliss, not Vombliss, but what's that thing called? Terry, Harry, and Gary? Gary, Terry, Carrie, all them, those Adelines, yes. When you hunt Adelines, basically they drop shards if you capture them, called Brilliant Shards and Radiant Shards. If you get either a Brilliant Shard or a Radiant Shard, is the Stalker coming? Really? Really? Is that the Stalker?
No, it's the Stalker.
Oh my gosh, the Stalker's
Acolyte.
coming after me. Oh, it's the Acolyte? You look like the
Yeah, it's
Stalker.
Acolyte.
Oh my gosh, who's dead already? Alright, I'm gonna take a pause to the tutorial and I'm gonna light this guy up.
Acolyte's on Hydron right now.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm gonna take a pause. Well, I'm gonna continue the tutorial in a second, but I really want to kill this guy.
I should have mentioned that before you started. Sorry, Sam.
Oh, thank you. Alright, he is dead. Alright. So, back to focus. Alright, so basically, you can get focus from affinity boost from missions, doing regular missions, like same way as ranking up a Warframe. You can also get it from an affinity booster, which doubles the affinity that you get for when you're doing missions and things like that. Um, uh, Curtis Morgan, I'm glad you love tater tots. Thank you for letting us know. That is absolutely amazing. Thank you. Also, you can get it from Eidolon hunts using Radiant Shards and Brilliant Shards that you get from capturing Eidolons. So if you ever do an Eidolon hunt and you capture the Eidolons, they drop things called Brilliant Shards and Radiant Shards, which you can take into your focus school, and then if you press R1, which is the current button that I have for my setup, it will ask you how many of them would you like to contribute, and then you can just pick whichever one. But something to also remember is if you do use your Brilliant Shard towards get an additional focus, then you can't use it. It takes it away, so you won't be able to use it to unlock your Unbind. Unbind takes a while to develop anyway. So it's up to you whether you want to use it or not, but just the FYI. Okay, so you see that little glowing thing right there? That gives a boost to whatever your focus score is. So if I'm going to go ahead and pick this up, you see that it just disappeared when I picked it up? Now that I've picked it up, if I go ahead and kill people, I get an affinity bonus. And that affinity bonus that I get goes towards my focus. So if you ever see that little glowing thing after you've equipped a lens onto your weapons or your warframes, I highly suggest you pick it up and you kill as many people as possible. If you can notice at the top right, somewhere to the left of my shield, you'll see a timer going down that says like 10, 9, 8. So basically right now it's counting down to when it's going to expire for that bonus. And now I got about 3 seconds left. So all the kills that I got within that time frame, you see that just got me around 6,000 focus right there. Obviously that's that's not a lot, but it's a good amount. And the fact that I have a lot of people here, a 4-man squad helps to get all the enemies, as many enemies as possible. Because, of course, I want to kill as many as possible to get the maximum amount of affinity. The more enemies you kill, the more affinity you get. Another way, if you do want to, or you absolutely have to go solo, maybe you don't like the whole team type feel, you are able to get a lot of focus doing solo missions. The only catch is you can't be seen. So typically people like to take like a, what's it called?
Sleep Equinox or something.
Yes,
like that.
thank you. A sleep equinox, or when the new Warframe comes out, he put people to sleep as well. So long as you go fully undetected, like literally they cannot detect you, you get what's called a stealth.
Works.
Yep, Ivara works as well. You can get a stealth multiplier. So if you take like an equinox or Ivara or any type of frame that does full stealth where the enemy absolutely won't detect you, if you keep that stealth multiplier going, yes, Mr. Curtis, I am in the Direwolf clan. Thank you for asking. Direwolf Academy. Shout out to my wolves. But if you keep that stealth multiplier going, that helps you gain more affinity, a lot more than what I'm getting right now. So just a FYI, if you want to happen to try it out, I won't be doing that during this tutorial, but I just had some yesterday. It was delicious. But
so can I add something in there real quick, Sam?
yeah, go ahead.
The 3 meta frames for farming focus on Adaro in Sedna is gonna be Equinox, Sleep Equinox, a Savage Silence Banshee, which is difficult, but after you get the hang of it, it works out really well. And then Avara with Sleep Arrows. But
you could
any
run Excalibur, blind radius Excalibur.
Yeah, that one's really difficult.
Yeah, I've tried it myself, but it's not like easy. It's not that easy.
Any invisible frame like Loki, Octavia, I don't know if Octavia would technically work because of the sound, but any invisible frame will work for a stealth multiplier. And you can do any type of like spy mission, but a lot of people use Adaro in Sedna because of the level of the enemies. And once you get up to a 500% damage or infinity multiplier from your stealth, it's like 5,000 infinity per kill.
That's a lot of affinity. Yeah, I'm getting 6,000 by clearing the map. But that's true. Alright, thank you, NGL. Now, as far as lenses, I'm going to tell you how to equip it once we leave the mission at 10. But what are lenses? How do you get them? Well, I'll tell you. So you have 3 different categories to lenses. You have your regular lens, you have your greater lens, and then you have an Eidolon lens. Easy way to do it is, of course, to just buy lenses from the market. But the only one you could buy regular, you can buy greater, but you cannot buy an Eidolon lens. Eidolons, you do have to build or trade for it. So to get regular, just the regular lens, you can just get it by completing the quest. It's literally one of the items that you get by completing the second dream. You have to, based on the options that you choose, it will automatically assign you to a lens. Now you can also get lenses from
What focus goal do you recommend starting off with for those that are getting ready to complete that?
If you're starting off, since you're probably squishy, so I would recommend personally the Vazarin. Vazarin not only grants health regeneration, but it also grants instant revives. So if you're somebody who goes down a lot and maybe people don't like picking you up, or maybe you don't want to take forever to pick somebody else up, that instant revive can come in handy a lot. Seriously, a lot. And there's other benefits to Vazarin, but those are the top 2 in my opinion. Matterize a good option. Like, if you want damage, that's the focus for you. But
Miramon works out great for its infinity boost for melee kills.
That's
because
true
it
too.
goes across all platforms if you have it as your focus tree. Even though you're farming other lenses, it will carry. But
that's true.
I was just for the people watching if they're new.
That's a valid point, because some people need to level up their Warframes, or maybe they want to level up their focus. Yeah, it would help you level up your focus if you choose Naramon, which is what I'm doing for this tutorial as well. Valid point. Alright, so to get regular lenses, you can do it by completing the quest, Second Dream. You can also do it by purchasing it from the market. You can also get it by farming for it in the Plains of Eidolon. So if you do Plains of Eidolon, they do drop lenses for certain bounties. Also Swordy. Swordy drops some of the greater lenses as well. So speaking of greater lenses, for greater lenses, you can get those from Swordies. You can also get those from the market. You can also get greater lenses, what was the other way? By trading. You can trade people for regular and greater lenses. You can always buy it out the trade chat if you prefer.
No point Eidolon lenses, just buy them.
Eidolon lens, you have to use a greater lens in order to build an Eidolon lens. So if you're ever planning on buying a Eidolon, or if you're ever planning on building an Eidolon lens, just know you have to go to the plains to get the blank blueprint for the Eidolon lens. And then once you get the blank blueprint for the Eidolon lens, you have to use a greater lens in order to put into the Eidolon lens in order to build it. Oh, also for your tenno, so this is my amps ability right here. There's 2 different fire rates, and then this is the melee that I told you about. So that was melee, and then that was the void blast. We can leave, so I can show them exactly how to equip it. So Swordy, Plains, and Quest is how you get the lenses. Now, before I show you how to equip it, just know that there is a cap as to how much focus you can get, and it ranges based on your mastery rank. Right now, the highest amount of cap that I'm aware of is 375,000. Myself, I'm currently at 355,000 at a mastery rank 21. But before I show you how to equip it, let's just see from my mission results how much focus I got. So if you look at the top over here at the top of the screen, it shows you my lens that I have equipped for each item. And then underneath it says how much focus I have, but that's not how much I got from the mission. At the top, from my melee weapon, I got 1,000, around 700 focus. For my Warframe, I got around 21,000 focus. For my primary, I got around 1,400 focus. And for my secondary, even though I didn't even use it, it still pulled affinity, and I got 1,200 focus. So it just goes to show, even if you bring things that are not in use, so long as it is equipped, it will take away from your focus, okay? Alright, now, how do you put on your lenses so you can get focus? Well, you go to your arsenal. So you can put focus lenses on your Warframe, your primary, your secondary, your melee. You cannot put it on your companion. However, you can put it on your Archwing weapons. So forgot which one I put it on. Yeah, I don't remember. But you can put it on your Archwing, to the best of my knowledge. Let me just make sure I'm giving you the right information. Yep, you can put it on your Archwing, which I don't recommend because it doesn't grant a lot of focus. So just FYI. You can put it on your Archwing weapons, and you can also put it on your amps. So if you ever want to put it on your amp, you can do that as well. However, again, right now, I wouldn't recommend it. Because it doesn't grant that much focus. I'd recommend something that does a lot of damage, or for instance, like we said earlier, when you take that stealth frame, choose something that is going to get you that stealth multiplier. So when you're in here, you go to equipment, and then you go to your amp, and then where it says install focus lens, you can put in the focus lens of your choice, okay? I think that just about covers focus. Can't think of anything else to add. Anybody have anything to add in?
You cannot pull off lenses off of equipment. So once you put a lens on that equipment, you can only replace it with another lens, but you cannot reuse lenses.
That is very valid. Thank you. Yeah, so if you, for instance, like you said earlier, if you have a Warframe that is rank 30 and you put a lens on them, and then you throw a Forma on them, you will not be able to get affinity towards that focus until you're rank 30 again. It only counts additional affinity. And in addition to that, once you get to rank 30, you will start earning the focus. Again, the lens does not disappear. It will still be there once your Warframe reaches rank 30. Also, if you happen to want to trade it, let's just say you accidentally put it on the wrong thing and you wanted to take it off and put it on something else, you can't. You have to get a whole nother focus in order to put it on what you wanted to. So you'd either have to replace it or, get another one. But either way, you can't take it off once it's been placed on. Now, a smart strategy that I highly recommend is if you have a specific focus you want to use, go into your arsenal and make a loadout for that specific focus. I don't know if you guys noticed, but all 4 items here use the same focus, which is Zeneric. So I highly recommend that you get a loadout of primary, secondary, melee, and Warframe that you use in unison, and put the same type of focus on each of those items and take them all into the mission with you. Because if you take a different focus, let me just say, for instance, I took my Boar Prime instead of my Astilla. Now you see there's a different focus school on my Boar Prime. It's going to give it to that focus rather than my Warframe. If that's how you want to play, that is up to you. But I recommend you put the same focus school on each of your items on that specific loadout.
Well, Sam.
Yeah.
On that though, whenever you get a kill with a weapon, your Warframe gets a certain amount of affinity. So if you're running a different focus lens on your weapon, then you're actually farming focus for 2 different.
Oh boy, you're breaking out.
Yeah, it's too far away.
What?
Can't hear a word you said. You broke out. Yo. Alright, CJ. Thanks for being a part of the stream. I'm gonna holler at you. And yes, we're famous. We are absolutely famous.
Okay. So what I was saying is that any kills you get with your weapon, 25% of that affinity goes to your Warframe. So if you have a different focus lens on your weapon than what your Warframe is, you're actually farming focus for 2 different schools at once.
Very, very valid. Yes, you would be farming for 2 different schools. So, if you want to farm for 2 different schools, that's up to you. I highly suggest you focus on one specific one once you get enough focus lenses to do so. If you don't have enough focus lenses to build one loadout on one, then it's understandable. But if you can, put them all on the same loadout, alright? Well, that's my time. It's been a pleasure having you all with us. Make sure you subscribe for chances to win free items and free plat. I will be having some plat giveaways very soon. Always remember, ninjas play free. For the full stream, gag reel, and other tips, make sure you watch my other streams. And thank you for your time, folks. Adios. Alright, how do you stop this thing? Stop the ground, I guess. Sorry, folks.